Biden's bipartisan border busters. With the wave of a pen, Joe Biden is swiftly moving to undo every last bit of progress that Donald Trump made in securing our nation against foreign invasion. Border wall construction will cease. Catch and release for deportees will resume. Refugee resettlement will surge. The asylum racket will once again be in full swing. And Biden's media sycophants are trumpeting all these new open borders executive orders. These liberal journalists are doing their best to help Biden spread the lie that so-called family separation of illegal aliens began under Trump.
This is about how America is safer, stronger, more prosperous when we have a fair, orderly, and humane legal immigration system. And with the first action today, we're going to work to undo the moral and national shame of the previous administration that literally, not figuratively, ripped children from the arms of their families, their mothers and fathers at the border, and with no plan.
What some in the mainstream media forget is that Obama and Biden were the ones who presided over the kids in cages policies that they then tried to cover up 7 years ago. Here's what KGUN TV in Tucson, Arizona uncovered in 2014, in case you forgot.
For about 2 weeks, the Border Patrol has refused to allow reporters and cameras into facilities where agents are housing hundreds of immigrant children. But today, we finally got a look.
The Border Patrol allowed only one video camera into holding centers in Nogales and in McAllen, Texas.
What we saw does track what we saw in pictures taken in secret days before. Kids in chain link holding areas using foil blankets.
That border rush was the predictable and inevitable result of Obama and Biden dangling work permits and a path to citizenship to nearly 1 million illegal aliens and their parents. It's a tried and true formula. Amnesty for illegal aliens begets more illegal immigration, begets more Democrat voters, and the cycle begins anew. Right on cue, the next wave of orchestrated caravans of thousands of illegal alien workers have amassed in response to Biden's green lights to bust our borders.
There's a migrant caravan headed to the U.S. border again. A march of the desperate who, with sheer will, overpowered armed police on the Guatemalan border.
So here's the thing. It's vital that you understand that none of this would be possible, none of it, without open borders Republicans. Lindsey Graham has been pushing for the DREAM Act amnesty with Tricky Dick Durbin for more than a decade now. And on Thursday, they unveiled yet another version of the legislation putting illegal alien workers ahead of American workers. The rhinos at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce jumped for joy. And here was Mitt Romney helping Biden's Department of Homeland Security nominee Alejandro Mayorkas look tough on borders 2 weeks ago.
What is your intention with regards to that caravan that is coming to our border? Is your intention to allow them just to come into the country? Will they be stopped? What's the plan?
Senator, we are a nation of immigrants, and we are also a nation of laws. And I intend to apply the law in the execution of my responsibilities as the Secretary of Homeland Security, should I have that privilege.
Yeah, right. What a crock. Mayorkas, who's billed as the first Latino immigrant DHS chief, is an America Last zealot who has pushed the dreamer of amnesty and expansion of refugee resettlement programs that are exploited by jihadists. He has a long track record of espousing law bending, not law enforcing. Mayorkas' main qualification for Deputy DHS Secretary under Obama was that he raised gobs of money for his presidential campaign in 2008. So, of course, he'll fit right in under the reign of Quid Pro Joe. He also successfully lobbied Bill Clinton for a pardon of convicted drug dealer Carlos Vignali, whose daddy dumped $200,000 in the coffers of Hillary Clinton's brother Hugh to secure his son's commutation. Mayorkas was also lambasted by Obama's own DHS Inspector General for his role as a meddling fixer in the foreign EB-5 visas for sale scheme. Federal investigators interviewed more than 15 whistleblowers who detailed how Mayorkas revised EB-5 rejections for his crony pals and Democrat bigwigs like Harry Reid and Terry McAuliffe while he was serving as Obama's director of the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services Agency. Here's what you need to know. 6 Senate Republicans sided with Democrats in confirming Mayorkas by a vote of 56-43 just on Tuesday. They were Senators Mitt Romney of Utah, Susan Collins of Maine, Rob Portman of Ohio, Shelley Moore Capito of West Virginia, and Dan Sullivan and Lisa Murkowski of Alaska. Remember those names and faces, and you can just call them, as I do, the Senate GOP Traitors Caucus. The S in Biden's DHS now stands not for security, but for sleaze. Our nation is back for sale to the highest foreign bidders and their America Last cronies. But if conservatives want to hold politicians accountable for border chaos, they can't just keep whining about Biden. It starts with cleaning their own house. Every Republican bought off by big business donors and cheap labor special interests must be exposed, primaried, and voted out. Otherwise, America First is a pipe dream, and the mass migration cycle will never end.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.